Good afternoon, everybody. This is Angela Moore, and you're watching Thursday Night Live with Angela. We are here today for my regular segment, and we are a minute early, so I'm going to just slow it down a little bit. However, I hope that you've had a great day. I am here today for my regular segment. Thursday Night Live with Angela is designed as a business segment to actually let you ask questions, get information about starting a business, running a business, any kind of business related questions at all. And today I was actually asked by two very special ladies in my life um, if I would talk about myself. So, yes, I am going to oblige them and give you a little bit of insight into where I am and how I got to where I am and what it took to get to where I am. Um, if you're not familiar with me, again, my name is Angela Lofton Moore. I am a business coach and I am the owner of four companies and a nonprofit here in Sacramento, California. My first business that I started actually happened back in 1993 when my husband and I met and married in 1992. It became very clear that we both wanted to be entrepreneurs. He was working at a state facility and he wanted to leave that job and actually run a business. So we both quit our jobs and started a commercial printing business in Sacramento. And we actually took that business until we had, the big printing presses with film and plates. If you don't know what I'm talking about, it's okay. It's all pre-digital. And actually, when everything did start to go digital, we had to make a decision. That decision was upgrade all of our equipment at a great big expense or just walk away from that business. So we decided to close the business. We sold all the equipment to somebody who still wanted the big printing presses. And I went back to work in corporate for a little while. And we never stopped really wanting to have businesses. Just trying to see if anybody's here yet. Okay. So fast forward a few years, and I'm still working corporate. I stayed in corporate for a little over 30 years. And I had started a part time business doing graphic design, Info Princess Graphics. And I was still doing that part time in 1992. 1992? 1990, yeah, 1992. When the company that I worked for, great company, just had a manager that was a little bit irritating. And I decided, you know what? I've had enough of the corporate life. I wanted something for myself and I wanted something that was more creative. So I decided to walk away from my corporate job in May of 1992 and started Info Princess Graphics full time. And it was fabulous. The day that I left, you know, great joy and everything. The very next day, I signed my first website client. My first client ever as a solo entrepreneur. It was a sole proprietorship at that time, and that client is still with me today. I loved doing the graphic design, doing logos, doing websites, designing things based on my clients' needs, working with small business owners, especially. So I took that graphic design business. It's still in business today. So Info Princess Graphic was my very first business. And I operated it out of my house up until the time that we started Moore Park Enterprises. Moore Park Enterprises is a business, a company design company. an entity formation company. Woo. Meaning that we set up people in their own businesses. We set up LLCs, we set up S corporations, C corps, and nonprofit organizations for people. We also provide business development, coaching. That's when I started doing my coaching to help people to understand technology. A lot of people back then didn't know all the things that, what's Facebook, what can it do, why should I have it for my business. So we did a lot of business development with our clients. And I love that. I still love it to this day. Moorpark Enterprises is still a valid company. Moorpark Enterprises is an LLC, and it actually absorbed Info Princess Graphics. And we did that for logistical reasons because I did not want to run two separate companies at all times. It's very difficult, especially when I was still doing a lot of things myself. Excuse me. So 2016, Moorpark Enterprises, it absorbs Info Princess Graphics. I'm still doing a lot of things by myself. I did decide at that point, though, that I was starting to bring on new clients that I didn't know, that were not necessarily referrals. And I really did not want to be working out of my house and have people coming to my house that I didn't know. So I opened an office and was running the business out of a virtual office where I could have space that I rent for meetings and appointments and so forth. And in 2017, I I didn't decide. In 2017, I went to a women's empowerment seminar that one of my friends, Jennifer Baker, was speaking at. And Jennifer Baker and I are shenanigators. Just trust me on this. And we started to hatch this idea, or she started to hatch this idea that I should start a co working space in Sacramento. Jennifer lives in Reno. So we talked about this, we laughed about this, we worked on it until we came up with a name while we were still at the seminar where she was speaking. From the time that we came up with the name Workflow Lounge at that seminar, which was in May, till I opened Workflow Lounge in Sacramento, was about 4 months. That means in 4 months we came up with a name, we filed for a corporation, we set up for funding, we found funding, we furnished the place, we found the place, and had it open in 4 months of time. So let me stop for a second, because one of the things that you need to know about me is whenever I decide to do something, it happens because I engage the universe. And for those of you that don't understand what that means, or are ready to turn off because you think that's not a real thing, I will tell you that it is. I'm not going to talk about it much here, but I'm more than happy to do another live to talk about how you engage the universe and make things happen for yourself. So that was a great example, because opening a company business, a 4,200 square foot facility in 4 months is unheard of. We did it anyway. And Workflow Lounge was born. Workflow Lounge is a co-working space. It is located in Rancho Cordova off of Highway 50 in Bradshaw. It is still an operating business. And it was designed for small business owners who needed a space outside of their home to have meetings, to meet with clients, to get work done away from the kids. And Workflow Lounge was the perfect space for that. I was looking for a larger space for Moorpark Enterprises, and I could not find anything that was a decent price range. Excuse me. So I went looking for a space, and the decision was made that if I'm having problems finding an affordable space, other small business owners were having a problem finding an affordable space in the Rancho Cordova area. Co-working spaces were nothing new, but they were all located in downtown Sacramento. There was nothing in Rancho Cordova. So We opened Workflow Lounge, and we had great members that utilized the facility, the office. We have private offices, we have conference rooms. We're in the process of building a media room right now. And we have a big event room that holds about 85 people, um, in theater style seating. So it's a great place. It has a kitchen. It has, everything that you need to kind of cater things. We had vendor fairs. We had one baby shower. We had a lot of conferences. We had a lot of workshops happening there, and that all stopped, of course, with COVID. But I'll get to COVID in a minute. And so 2017 that happened. In 2018, I woke up with the idea that I wanted to do something for my military family. Both my dad and my stepdad are lifelong military Air Force guys, and I wanted to do something in their honor. So I decided I needed to create a nonprofit to help veterans get jobs, start businesses, whatever it is. Excuse me, I'm trying to see what's going on here. Okay. Um, and so a nonprofit it is. We had a plan, we knew what we were going to do with it, we didn't have a name. On April 1st, 2018, yes, April Fool's Day, I woke up with the name of the nonprofit in my head. It was called Beyond the Village, meaning that a lot of people have a village that take care of their needs, that help support them, but there are things that are not always available inside of their own village. So we are what's beyond the village, and that was the name that I came up with. Again, I thank nobody but the universe for all of that. So I immediately jumped on my computer, looked to see if there was a company by that name, looked to see if there was a website by that name, a domain name, da 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 da. Nothing. Everything was completely clear. So by the end of that month and by the end of the month, the corporation was all finalized. By the next month, we were a full-fledged 501c3, and we started doing training, computer training at first, job training. We partnered with Career Path Development to do executive training and executive recruiting services. And it's still, you know, we're now running Info Princess Graphics, Moore Park Enterprises, Workflow Lounge, and a nonprofit. And people would ask me, when do you sleep? And I didn't sleep much. I didn't. Um, I tried to sleep whenever I could, but there was a lot of work to do, and I was still doing a majority of it by myself. Although my husband was there, and he is very supportive, and he is a great guy to help, maintain the facilities and everything else. But as far as doing the business itself, the businesses themselves, advertising, social media, accounting, all of those things, I was doing all of that by myself. So um, there is an art to it. You really have to be compartmentalized. You have to put some things in place to help you um, figure out exactly what needs to be done when. And in answer to Sparkles, excuse me, who asked if she would love to hear, I'm reading from her text here. I would love to hear how you built emotional resilience in your business over the years. How it affected you doing business and the importance of having emotional resilience. Um, there was there were times in any growing business there was blood, sweat, and tears, and a lot of tears. But here's again, and I hate to keep throwing the universe at you, but this is how I operate. I absolutely visualize things the way I want them to be. And when I meditate and I see Workflow Lounge in 2021 operating, and I'm visualizing that the business is there, I don't have any fears about the business not being there. That means I'm on the right track. And I do that with all my businesses. I know that for the first business, I wanted to raise $50,000 to open. We did that. Last year, um, last year I said I was going to raise $250,000. I did raise $250,000, but I didn't specify it, so it didn't all go to me. Um, but I put everything out there in front of the universe. And once I started doing that, the tears stopped, the fear stopped. Even when things started going sideways with COVID last year, I mean, our business dropped for Moorpark Enterprises. Our business dropped from, it dropped 90% on March 16th, in March of last year when we had to close. We had to close Workflow Lounge completely for 5 years. There's a lot of emotion involved in that because we still have a lease, we still have to pay rent, um, we still have to pay our bills, and there's a lot of emotion attached to that. So, meditation and visualization and really focusing on the things that I want. And when I want to manifest something big like that $250,000 last year, if you walked through Workflow Lounge and you came to my office, you saw little sticky notes that said $250,000. I'm serious about the things I want to manifest. And everything that I have created in the way of business, I very honestly believe I have manifested myself. Um, we have added people now to the businesses so that I am not doing things myself. We have a wonderful person. Oh, Mariah, hey. Oh my goodness. Not 5 years, but 5 months of what? I'm sorry, did I misspeak about something? um, the universe, yes, Naraya, because the universe does want to help you. And if you've never looked at manifestation and what it can do for you and your business, um, I'm happy to talk to somebody about it if you're interested in talking to me about it. But by all means, take a look and read something on it because it is a very real thing. People who tend to tell themselves, God, I'm always broke. I am so unlucky. Nothing ever works for me. They're actually vocalizing the exact things that they're bringing into their lives because they keep harping on those things over and over again. And the things you think about are the things that manifest themselves. So stop thinking negative thoughts. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, I had to close Workflow Lounge for 5 months. Yeah, not 5 years. Thank you, Jackie. Um, so again, there's a lot of stress there, but once I started focusing on just the positive things and the things I want and how I want things to be, I've had 95% less stress. Normally, if I'm stressing about something, and it happens very rarely, it's an indicator that I am either looking at in the wrong direction or I am facing someone that's not really helpful to my situation. So I evaluate things, but it happens very rarely anymore. So we absolutely have kept these businesses going. We have used contractors for everything from office maintenance to office staffing, um, to whatever it took to keep the businesses running. We also have contractors that we work with, that we partner with for some of our revenue generating services. Excuse me, I'm coming off of a cold here. And the last thing that I've done now, the fourth business that has manifested itself right now, we actually do have another business called We Serve for You, which is a um, document serving for process servers. which is my husband's business. So that is also under Moore Park Enterprises. And I've now decided to take my coaching business um, off to the side by itself and start focusing more on working with small businesses, one-on-one coaching and group coaching. I have a wonderful group right now, Second Act Business Builders uh, group. There was a group of 10 of us that are working on um, getting businesses off the ground, doing business plans, going through all the aspects of doing business plans for a business. And it's been a fun experience. So I'm really looking forward to continuing that. So I don't know if I answered your question there, Sparkles, but yeah, the importance of having emotional resilience. I'm a very emotional person. I will cry, but I have learned that in business, it's all about the strategic implementation of things, manifesting what you need, and really trusting the universe to make sure that the next step is there when you walk along this path of your businesses. So, very few tears anymore. And, you know, last year things were horrible, but we pivoted. Workflow Lounge had to close. Moore Park Enterprises went into full education mode. I partnered with the California Black Chamber, with Max Reach, with the Black Small Business Association, and we went into full blown education mode because a lot of small businesses were going out of business because they couldn't get funding. Um, and that was because they either never filed the proper paperwork to be compliant, or they've never implemented an accounting system, or they weren't running their businesses like businesses. And so we spent from March 16th on to the end of the year, literally till December 24th, we educated people on how to run businesses properly. And we did everything we could to help people keep their businesses. Um, I worked with a great accounting person. Her name is Rue. She and I did a lot of the trainings together. We ended up in a lot of segments together because part of what my structuring and education on business development is implementing an accounting system. And she is fabulous at it. So partnering with people that can apps that actually go along the same lines of what you're doing. Um, People who are business consultants, people who teach um, different coaches different processes. Once you start working with people that are all moving in the same direction as you, it's very helpful for your business to be able to pivot like we had to. Because remember, we were just one business going on by itself, and most part of that was myself. And partnering on a large scale like that was not something that I'd ever done before. But again, it came seamlessly. So I am again going to credit the universe for putting me in the right place at the right time with the right people so that we could pivot. Moore Park Enterprises could stay in business. Moore Park Enterprises was able to support Workflow Lounge, which was closed. Info Princess Graphics supported Workflow Lounge. So, um, again, if you're looking to start one business, great. We are here to help you. Mine happen to stack on top of each other, but if you look at my businesses, all of them have one singular focus: helping small businesses. Info Princess Graphics does logos and business cards and banners and printing and all of those wonderful things which business owners need. Moore Park Enterprises does the entity formation and the business development. Um, Myself, I do the coaching after the fact, and Workflow Lounge still, we're back open, so we still have a place that you can come to operate your business in a professional space. So it makes it easy. Obviously, if my businesses were vastly different, in other words, if I had, I was selling shoes over here, and I was selling jewelry over here, and I was doing hair, These are all great businesses. Trust me. I'm not knocking them on one, but if you were yourself trying to do all of those things, you couldn't focus on any one of them. With mine, it was a little bit easier just because they all had the same focus, and that was helping small businesses. So I don't know if that answers the questions here. Let's see if we have any more questions. Yes, ma'am. I put myself in connection with the universe to reap the business. I mean, benefits, to reap the benefits. Yes, absolutely. Um, it's been nice talking about, what it is that I do and how I've been able to build it. One of the other things I will tell you, and again, I'll credit the universe for that. Um, None of our businesses were started on business financing. All of the businesses were started with our own money or no money. Info Princess Graphics was started with pretty much no money. So there are things out there you can do with little to no startup cost. Workflow Lounge wasn't one of them. Workflow Lounge was our biggest expense because obviously we had to pay for the building, we had to pay for the furnishings, we had to, everything that we needed to put into that building. But there are things that can be done with little to no startup cost. And, we're here to help. I'm here to help. This is what I've been doing for the last 20 years is helping small businesses. So when you see my ads and I talk about, my experience, this is my experience. I've hit the pitfalls. I know where they are. I can keep you out of them. And if you're interested in talking to me about starting a business, I actually do a free consultation. If you want to give me a call at 866 887 3737 during normal business hours, which are 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. I would be more than happy to set up a consultation for you. It's a free 30-minute consultation to talk about you want to start an LLC, you're looking to build a website, whatever it is, we can help you with that. Or you can send me an email to angela@moreparkenterprises.com, and I will also, again, set you up with a consultation so we can talk about whatever your business goals are. If you happen to be a veteran, we have a little bit of money left for anyone who's a veteran who would like to start an LLC or an S corporation or C corporation. We don't fund nonprofits because they are not a business. Again, you can reach me at the 866-887-3737, or yes, 866-887-3737, or email angela@moreparkenterprises.com. Now, do we have any questions? Jackie. Yes, exactly. You're a perfect example of that. You started your business. Jackie is a ghostwriter, and she is an author, 17 books deep, working on her next 2 books right now. And she does editing and book publishing, and all of her businesses align in that same fashion that mine do. And she started it with no money. So there are things that you can do if you have an interest and you'd like to talk to somebody about it, just even if you just want to bounce the ideas off of somebody. I'm more than happy to talk to you. I'm more than happy to answer any questions that I can answer. All right. Well, if we don't have any more questions, I'm so glad you joined, Noraya. I haven't seen you in too long. It's been too long. Um, Again, my name is Angela Lofton Moore, and I am a business coach. AngelaLoftonMooreCoaching.com. You can take a look me up, visit me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. You can ask me questions. I am literally here to help, and I'm willing to help you with whatever business needs or business questions you may have. All right. Well, that was fun. I like talking about myself. So thank you, Shonda. And Chandra and Sparkles for the idea of kind of giving you a background of how I got to where I am and how I'm doing everything I'm doing. I'm getting more sleep now. And I've built a team, which is very important to keep things going and to be able to grow your business. So if you have an interest in a specific topic, please don't hesitate to comment, and I'll include that in possibly next week's Thursday Night Live with Angela. I want to thank everybody who's watching this video. If you joined us live, thank you very much for spending time with us. If you're watching it on a replay, thank you for watching the video, and we'll see you next Thursday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. You can find us on Angela Lofton Moore Business Coach, Moore Park Enterprises, and Second Act Business Builders. On all three pages, I go live on all three pages at the same time. I look forward to seeing you next week. You have a great evening.